How's it? I was popping this D-Box this video by Impressive. This is Amanda Seales is no longer on The Real. She quit the show, and here's why. Bro, this lasted like 5 seconds. She was barely on there. But honestly, I didn't think this was going to last anyway because she seems very, very different from the rest of the cast. She's very pro-black. She's very outspoken. And I just didn't see that meshing well with the other members, to be honest. I can't say for sure because I don't watch The Real. I've honestly never watched an episode. I've only seen like short clips on social media. But I did see a clip of her making some funny faces at Lonnie because Lonnie was up here blaming her being overweight on how black people in the black community, they don't know how to eat right or some stupid shit. I didn't like what she was saying. It wasn't making no goddamn sense. And Amanda was like making hella shady faces. And I was like, bro, this will be me. Like, girl, how is you blaming you being overweight on the fact that, oh, because black people, we don't know. We was drinking Kool-Aid and chicken. Like, you know, she was sounding real stupid. And I'm just like, girl, what does that have to do with now? I just wasn't fucking with it. But anyway, let's see why she's not on the show. Let's watch.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Impressive channel. The co-host from The Real, Amanda Seales, recently came out and said that she no longer will be on the show in the next coming season. Amanda revealed that she did not renew her contract because she doesn't feel comfortable in a space that won't allow her to freely voice her opinion when it comes to black issues. Now, when Amanda first joined The Real, she was met with a lot of resistance from The Real's fan base because
it ain't The Real then, ain't
it's not like the other co-hosts on the show. She's very vocal when it comes to racial issues, and I do believe her voice on the show was very necessary, especially when it comes to the climate that we're in right now. I thought Amanda brought a lot of great things to The Real. She helped elevate the discussion on the panel, and she even encouraged some of the other co-hosts to speak more boldly about race and social issues on the show. However, a lot of viewers of the show did not like Amanda for various reasons. They didn't like her facial expressions because they felt like she was being rude when she would listen to the other co-hosts. They also felt like she was beefing with some of the co-hosts as well. In fact, they tried to create this issue between her and Jeannie.
And you and Jeannie have butted heads in a couple of different times. That just kind of goes.
Stop. No, because you know what? We're not.
It comes to territory, right?
No, that's not the territory we're coming from.
Yeah.
We're not butting heads, and I think it's very, very important, especially at a table of diverse women, to very clearly delineate the difference between having a difference in opinion and butting heads. You'll know when I'm butting heads.
Facts.
Why do you all think that someone sitting somewhere and looking up like this and listening means that they don't care? But at the end of the day, like if I'm looking up and I'm listening, that's really what's happening. And I think that there's so many folks that would really just love to see conflict. So they will really just decide that like, oh, she must not be wanting to hear what the other ladies on The Real are saying. It's like, no.
You was making shady faces
at
Lonnie though. That one clip
Amanda was in a position where she had to address her critics because she got a lot of criticism. Also, a lot of fans of The Real, especially a lot of the white fans, were very uncomfortable when Amanda Seales would talk about race.
That's so sad. You racist if you're getting uncomfortable about that.
In particular,
why are you uncomfortable?
That's something that she's very passionate about. So when she would bring light to that, people had issues with it. And I don't understand why, but they did. Right. So I can imagine that Amanda may have had some talks with the executives from the show. They probably pulled her aside and said, hey, you might not want to talk too much about this. Our viewers are not receiving you well. So I can imagine that happened. I'm not saying that it did, but I can imagine they pulled her aside and said something to that effect. Even though The Real is hosted by women of color, it's never been one of those shows that's been controversial or one of those shows that have consistently touched on sensitive or serious issues. The Real didn't even post about the Ahmaud Arbery discussion they had on their YouTube page because it's a sensitive topic and they knew YouTube couldn't pay them for it, and also they didn't want to offend some of the viewers who watched the show.
Y'all ain't real then.
But I just saw the video.
Is she crying about not being
real? The 25-year-old young man, Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia. and they have video of him being gunned down.
I didn't watch none of these videos.
By these
not about to
two
traumatize myself.
white men with guns who felt that he was running in their neighborhood and they needed to go take him out. And they have video of it. They have video of them taking this young man's life, and he's literally just jogging through the neighborhood, and they cut him off with their truck, and he's running, and they shoot him in his stomach, and he's trying to keep running, and he falls to the ground. And I sit here every day on this show, and I go in our comments, and I see people say, why does she always talk about race? Why do we always talk about black people? Why are we always talking about, why can't we just sit up here and have a good time? Because things like this are actually happening.
Now, The Real never posted this discussion on their YouTube page, and it's clear that they're careful about putting certain topics out there because they want to walk on eggshells when it comes to real issues.
Yeah, get up out of
The
there,
Real
man.
is not like The View. It's always been more of a lighthearted show. So when Amanda came on there,
why y'all call it
she
The Real
did
then?
kind
Pick
of
another
shift
name.
the direction of the show. And I think in a lot of ways, she challenged some of the other ladies to be more vocal when it comes to social issues. And I like the fact that she was able to do that. But the fans of The Real weren't all too pleased with her presence. And she was constantly nitpicked and bullied by some of the fans. So I do think that Amanda just decided, hey, you know what? I'm tired of being in this space. I'm tired of the people up top trying to control my voice. And I'm tired of these fans getting upset every time I talk about issues that are important to me. So she did not renew her contract.
Yes.
She's
arrived.
I've arrived because my contract is up at The Real, and I did not renew it because it doesn't feel good to my soul to be at a place
Power.
where I cannot speak to my people the way they need to be spoken to, and where the people who are speaking to me in disparaging ways are not being handled. I'm not in a space where I can, as a full black woman, have my voice and my coworkers also have their voices, and where the people at the top are not respecting the necessity for black voices to be at the top too. So, you know, you reach a point, like even when it just comes to Hollywood in general, you've seen me transform into a way that I just can't function in this place the same way. I can't. They planting white beans in my oil. People are like, Amanda, you need your own show. I want a show called The Big SEALES. That's what, if I'm gonna do a show, it's just gonna be called The Big SEALEs, and I'm gonna be talking my and then I'm gonna have my characters, and then Brandon gonna come on
My
and
characters.
shit.
I'm gonna have my characters.
My characters. You know, like, and it's really gonna be rooted in the awareness of my autochthonous being and understanding that, you know, one thing I love about Brandon and one thing that has kept us bonded, like Brandon and I have been bonded since 1998. Like January 5th, 1999. That's when we met. We met January 5th, 1999, and we have been tight ever since. And I think on a basic level, it's because we both come from the same mindset of like, whenever we create as artists, it comes from two basic bottom lines. It needs to serve our creative hearts as well as give the people social change. It needs to meet those two standards on a basic level. And I think for a lot of folks listening and watching, it's like, look at what you do in your life. And you do need to identify, like, what are your tent poles that you make moves on? Because I know a lot of us do shit just for bread.
Yeah.
And there is a luxury in not having to do shit just for bread. That is a full fact. Like, I am so... I have gratitude every morning. I wake up with gratitude every morning that I found myself I've created a life for myself where I don't have to do things just for money, where I can be like, y'all can keep that out of here.
Good for you.
But I think a lot of that has also come from like my own confidence that like, I'll find the bread in a manner that serves me.
So in that video, Amanda confirmed that she did not renew her contract, and also she's not that pressed for money to stay on a platform that does not suit her. She did also hint that somebody behind the scenes was talking in a disparaging way towards her, and they were not checked. So that's also why she won't be returning. And I do hope she goes into detail about that on her podcast, Small Doses. Now, there are some people who don't believe that Amanda decided to end her contract. Some people are saying that maybe Amanda was fired. Now, I was scrolling on the Neighborhood Talk 2 on Instagram. Shout out to them. Under the comments, Amanda did say this. Laughing my tail off at the second picture, that was the day I decided, y'all should have known it was a wrap when I showed up on daytime television with 3 cornrows. Protect your peace, y'all. Now, one person in the comments said she had a 3-year contract. She was fired. Amanda responded and said this. I don't know what sickness exists in these folks that they feel the need to 1, throw shade on strangers, 2, speak about things they don't know. I hope you get the vaccine though, because you are incorrect. She also said, you know what's trippy? We've been so conditioned to assume the worst, expect ulterior motives, and catch folks in lies that even when folks state things plain, so many attempt to create alternative narratives than just accepting what's been said as what is true. Real ones know I do not lie. 100 all day. F this Hollywood game of fraudulence for fame, and much love to y'all who ride with me and wake up every day to be our best selves. Fight the power. So that was Amanda's response to people saying that she got fired. And I think she was speaking generally as well. She was speaking more.
Okay, I don't need to hear this no more. Good for her. Good for her for standing up what she believes in and being like, I don't like the climate here. Y'all ain't letting me say what I want to say. Y'all trying to censor me. I don't fuck with y'all. I'm about it here. I respect that. I feel like she did leave. Why would she be going around saying that she left and she didn't? Like, that don't make no fucking sense. I do believe that, you know, she wasn't meshing well with the other castmates. I believe that, you know, the viewers were not as receptive to what she was saying because she's speaking about real shit. Even though y'all watching a show called The Real, y'all don't want to hear the real. So y'all whack. But, you know, more power to Amanda. I like her. I think she's funny and she really goes in and addresses these hard conversations. This shit is fucking heavy. You see how emotionally upset she was when she was talking about, you know, Ahmaud who got gunned down. I heard about that. I didn't watch that video. I still haven't watched the George Floyd video. I don't want to keep watching black people get killed. That shit is fucking heavy. It's so emotionally and mentally exhausting to constantly be seeing all of this racism and you being black yourself, and you're just constantly watching how the world responds to black people in such a negative, fucking deadly way. That shit is heavy as fuck. So for her to still take this role on and still push through and, you know, educate people and fight the good fight, like, I respect that, because this takes a lot of fucking willpower. It takes a lot of bravery. It's a lot. So kudos to her. Y'all let me know what y'all thought though. Let me know what other videos you want me to react to, and I'll see you on the next one.